Well, hey there, it's Jared and Taylor. Here we are in week 4 of the 2020 NFL season. For those of you keeping score at home, currently beating Taylor 30-25 after 3 weeks of play. Just so you all know, if you are Colts fans and football fans, I write a weekly betting piece on StampedeBlue.com that I call Jared Bets the NFL. The bar for that kind of trade is about 55%. I'm currently picking about 65% of the games correct. Just something to think about if you're betting. Taylor, tonight, the Broncos play at the Jets. Who do you think wins that game?
Broncos.
I think Jets could win at home.
Yeah. No.
Jets win at home. Now on Sunday, Taylor, the Colts play at the Bears. Who do you think wins that game?
What are you on? Let me use my list because yours is mine's in order.
In order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saints versus the Lions.
Saints.
The Lions. I won't vote for Drew Brees.
Okay.
No. Chargers versus the Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Chargers. Jaguars versus the Bengals.
The Bengals.
Jaguars. Vikings versus the Texans. And this is my terrible person showing because I was actually disappointed when the Vikings came back and none of them had tested positive for COVID.
Oh, that's so mean.
Well, because of what's his face?
For Kirk Cousins saying like he doesn't believe that masks are effective, but he wears them because he's required to.
Yeah.
He's still allowed to have an opinion.
Anyways,
doesn't make him
I don't
not a
care.
dumbass.
Texans.
I think the Vikings are red.
Yeah.
Texans are awful.
Seahawks.
I think the Vikings win.
Seahawks versus the Dolphins.
Seahawks.
Browns versus the Cowboys. Fuck.
You don't like either of those teams?
No, I don't want to vote for either of them.
I would say probably the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys. Then Cardinals versus the Panthers. I'm going to say the Cardinals.
I think they win too, but DeAndre Hopkins is hurt. So it kind of hurts Arizona.
Yeah. So are you picking Cardinals?
Yeah, I think they win. It's just not a convincing win.
Okay. Colts versus the Bears. Colts.
I mean, this is probably one of those weeks where I should pick the Bears to win.
Yeah.
For the reason of being right, because Taylor picked the Colts, but because the last time I picked them to lose, they won. And of course, I really want them to win, and I think they've got a better team. I think the Colts secondary can be exploited, and I think the Bears have good enough weapons, and Nick Foles is a smart enough quarterback to give the Colts real trouble. It's just hard for me to pick against the Colts. They've just got a really good defense, and they're not, even though they don't have Mack and Paris Campbell, like they're still really tough. And I think there's a good chance they do go to Soldier Field and beat them, but for the purpose of the game, I'll just take the Bears.
Okay. Ravens versus Washington football team.
The Ravens.
I'm going to give it to Washington. I don't think they've won a single game yet.
Right.
But maybe this will be it.
Sure. Probably not the week.
Giants versus the Rams. The Rams.
Rams to get a big win at home. Yeah. The Giants are already bad, and they have to fly across the country, too.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Patriots versus the Chiefs. Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs, but it's close.
That's fine.
Like a field goal game.
But the Chiefs. Bills versus Raiders.
Ooh.
Raiders.
Take the Bills.
Eagles versus 49ers and Sunday Night Football.
49ers, not a close game.
Yeah, 49ers.
Wentz gets benched.
And Monday Night Football is Falcons versus the Packers. Packers.
The Packers, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then of course with the Steelers and Tennessee are on
got moved to
postponed. Yeah, because of the Titans.
So here's a question for you, for those of you that watch our videos every week. The there was a COVID rash of COVID positive results for the Titans. I think we're at 10 or 9 or something like that.
Last
at
I
this
saw
point.
9, but I didn't look at anything today.
And so I run a fantasy football league with friends of mine. Some may have watched this video. And I'm honestly wanting to resolve this democratically, but basically the consensus from the group is that because some people have Titans and Steelers that they would have started this week, there are other people in our league that don't have those players, and so their vote would be kind of tainted because they don't have a vested interest, so they don't really care. Whereas the people that do have players in those games, they really care, right? So because the disparity and how important those decisions are, they want me to make the decision independently. And now I don't have a problem doing that, but I'm definitely going to have a conversation with the rest of the people in the league, and I figured I'd pass this to you. So what do you do about those players knowing they're not playing this week? They're making it up, like the Steelers play like 13 weeks in a row. A lot of people want to know, like, should they be able to, for example, and again, this is an example, put someone in one of those guys' spot, and then when they play the makeup game, go retroactive back to week 4 and give the starter what they would have scored in the game against Tennessee that's replacing the week 4 game. Of course, I absolutely, now that I say it out loud, I'm like, that's way too much work.
Yeah,
what are we talking about? I don't.
Excessive.
But again, got to come to a consensus. Gonna have people pissed off. Either way we do it. But anyway, I figured I'd throw that to the people that, we have a bunch of people that comment on our videos now. So I figure if I give them something to chew on, they can come up with a reasonable way to make sure that people don't feel like they get cheated out of a week with their starters, right? Because that's effectively what their argument is they're basically getting screwed out of a week.
You want to know what you should have done?
What?
Should have listened to me.
I'm 3-0 in that league. But anyway, that's who he thinks is going to win the games this week.
And it's week 4, and now we're just now the first team that has the COVID outbreak.
Oh, you're still talking about like them not
like you shouldn't have done it at all. Yeah.
Well, we kind of talked about it if it doesn't make it to week 8.
Right. So one team
no
already
money changes hands. But if we make it past week 8, they're gonna play it out. I'm telling you, there's too much money involved.
Doesn't matter. Because even what if like week 10 we have a big team, like say the Chiefs, there's a COVID outbreak and then it gets postponed, and then it all gets fucked and it all gets tacked into the year. Then when does the season actually end?
The Colts play the Titans twice. That's what I'm saying.
You're not listening to what I just said.
They're gonna get.
I'm not talking about the
postponed
Titans.
too.
I'm talking about any other team, any team.
Yeah.
In general.
Sure.
Like so again, so it's past week 8. Say week 10.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have an outbreak and there's 20 of them that have test positive for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's week 10. So you are automatically have to post it back to week 12. And then even then they have 14-day incubation time till you get negative test results. And then they have to have 2 negative back-to-back test results within 24 hours or 72 hours, whatever the fuck it is.
Just more than 2 weeks. It's like 17 days.
Exactly. And they have to test negative. Two consecutive negative tests to be allowed back to play. So like, when does the season, when will it actually end if it just gets
keep in mind on? It started at the normal time and no preseason.
Right. And?
They haven't extended the season yet because the game's being made up during a bye week.
Again, it's the first time and we're on week 3.
The next time they would play during their bye week and not add to the season.
Let's say week 10, so bye weeks are already usually passed by like probably what? The majority of them are earlier, like
4 through 14.
Okay, but still. Okay, so you have 6 days, 6 weeks before 4 through 10, and then 4 weeks possibly. Okay, you still don't have enough time. Because what if your team already had their bye week and they catch it at week 11?
I mean, again, like I said, the only reason you finish it out is because of the money.
There's so much money in it.
There's so much money to be made. No, I'm talking about
I'm talking about fantasy.
The NFL, the reason they play.
I'm talking about fantasy. The NFL can play. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about fantasy.
Oh, you're talking about like not putting money in leagues?
You should not put money in leagues. And I didn't even play this year because I knew it was going to be... Actually, no, I didn't play last year either because someone ruined it for me. But
anyway, that's who he thinks going to win the games this week. And we'll see you after next week's games.
Woo woo.